Welcome. It's me, Hannah Crum, with two legends.
Okay, me, Steve, and Mad Cat.
And that cat.
This guy right here, every time you score, he has to play this song for you every time, every single time. Amen. He appears, I believe in there. Let's go.
And we are ready to go. It is time for the musings, and of course, it's been, shall we say, I'll lead off with this. It's been a tumultuous week.
Yeah.
Between what happened in Utah and what's happening with the club, all I can say this: I am thankful for the fact that we can resort to covering soccer and, let's just say, try to keep a better, how do I say, keep a better, perspective for what covering actual games and whatnot. I'm happy the Premier League's back, club soccer's back. Very happy to see that, and just saying, it's great to be covering that stuff instead of all the ilk and despair and crap that's been going on throughout, like I said, the past week.
I know, and I echo that opinion that it's kind of a torn, from what happened in Utah to here. It just, I'll tell you, I'm always conflicted because I know the person here in Detroit, and when you read what happened, it's just like, oh my God, so.
Yeah. And so, in respect to that part, we're not going to talk about it. We don't.
It's understandable. Let the news department handle this, okay?
Yeah.
We're only here to talk about soccer.
We're the candy store.
Yes.
We're the candy store right now. I'd rather talk about the sport.
Because last week, I agree with you. Last week was just, I'll tell you right now, boring without talking actual soccer because all the European leagues were under international break for World Cup qualifying. We will get to USA, had a couple of exhibition friendlies, which we'll get to, but it's really great to have soccer back again. You know what I mean? That's the joy of it. You know what I mean?
Yes. I mean, not just USL, but we are going to talk about USL, obviously. We'll do that in the second segment. But, yeah, having the club soccer back is big. Couple of the big news, speaking of club soccer, one of them, coaching change that took place over at Nottingham Forest. Nuno out, Big Ange is back.
Wow, that is a surprise because guess where Nottingham Forest? They were on the cusp of going to the Champions League last year, and somehow 3 games in, the guy who brought you glory is out.
And in all fairness, the guy that brought glory to Tottenham, winning the Europa League, got unceremoniously let go. I mean, I would say in spite of his record last year, they finished 16th in the Premier League, but did win that Europa League title, and he was unceremoniously let go over at Tottenham by Daniel Levy, who got unceremonially let go himself recently. So it's like, who knows what's going on with the Spurs at this point? But Ange or Postecoglou has a track record. He won championships for my club Celtic, won a treble for Celtic.
Yes, that was his last coaching job, right?
Prior to Tottenham. He also, as I mentioned, won the Europa League for Spurs, a club that has been trophyless in over a quarter of a decade.
Wow. 25 years. Oh, my God.
Oh, yeah. More than that, actually. And I'll tell you, the guy knows what he's doing. He's a very good coach, very good tactician. And, I'm looking forward to seeing what Ange brings to the table for Nottingham Forest. Unfortunately, it didn't come to fruition today as they lost to Chelsea 3-0. But
they got blown out. I saw parts of the
not
game.
Chelsea. I'm sorry, Arsenal 3-0.
Arsenal, yes. I saw the first goal of the second half. It only took 60 seconds to make it 2-0, and and the guy who scored the third goal was part of his second goal. He got the brace for them. So
Yeah, and yeah, needless to say, it was just not a good first outing. Obviously, traveling to the Emirates, it's going to be, it's going to be a tough haul to begin with because Arsenal is one of the top two or three teams in the Premier League right now, and they showed it again this morning or this
I
afternoon as you
know.
were in England.
Yeah, they're tied with Liverpool and one other team, Bournemouth. You know what I mean? But when I was coming home from the recycling center, the weirdest goal happened. Fulham versus Leeds. Fulham won in one of the weirdest ways. An own goal. Oh my.
Owen Goal making his appearance in the Premier League as well. I noticed.
Yeah, I've been watching way too many own goals recently. USL, MLS, a little bit. Uh,
Part of the
yeah,
game, my friend. Part of the game.
part of the game, you were supposed to clear it, then all of a sudden it took a weird bounce, and it's brother.
Like I said, part of the game. I mean, we do enjoy it. I mean, it's an unfortunate thing for the defender or whoever touches the ball last before it goes into the net, and for that to be an own goal. But it is a part of the game, and it's part of the beauty
Yeah,
of the
you're
sport.
right. And they will say a bunch of obscenities, and for the goal scorer who accidentally scored it, it's just like, oh. And sometimes they'll hug the teammate and say, "Don't worry, it's okay." I
and,
know,
and it can be a psychological thing too.
I know. Well, we
What?
didn't know that Darren Smith did last goal before his scoreless drought was an own goal in the U.S. Open Cup. It
Yeah.
actually hit his leg and went in the net, and oh my!
Yeah.
But you have to shake it off.
Sometimes those own goals, I mean, are not from your own fruition. In the case of Smith's, that happened in the Open Cup. So I mean,
Yeah,
but it can affect you psychologically. The
I
best
know.
thing you can do is just go right at it, go get right back on top of the horse and try it again.
I know. And by the way, one more match tomorrow, and you're excited for this.
This is going to be an interesting derby.
City versus United.
This is going to be a very interesting derby. Manchester City is off to a start which is uncity-like right now. 1-2, losers of their last two against Tottenham and Brighton, respectively. Man United, so far, I'm quickly looking up the FOTMob here as I am doing this. So right now, Man United sitting in 11th right now, 3 points or 3 games played, 4 points overall themselves. This is a weird scenario where Man City is below Man United right now as far as points go in the Premier League. 1 point difference.
I know.
Man City sitting in 16th, Man United sitting in 11th outside the top 10.
I know. And it's happening after Celtic, by the way, is playing tomorrow in Scotland. You know what I mean? Prime time Sunday. You know what I mean? The best games always happen on Sunday. And who else? Oh yeah. Celtic and the Man City, Man United. Is that 11:30?
That's an 11:30 kick.
I see. Oh yeah, I'm thinking about
5:30 out there,
oh yeah,
or 5:30 in England,
Yes, St.
11:30
Pauli,
here.
team who I support in the Bundesliga. They're playing on Sunday game too.
Yeah. But the thing is here about the derby this year is, I mean, you're looking at two squads right now that are going through some indefinite change, or I wouldn't say going through some changes. Let's just say, Man City, obviously, right now they just signed Donnarumma to a contract. He is now going to be the new goalkeeper, new number one goalkeeper for Man City, replacing Ederson, who took his talents to the Turkish league, and they're facing their sort of injuries right now. It looks like Rodri's back out again. Now I hear Marmoush suffered an injury during international duty. So they're the catalyst which put them back I mean, a little bit in the top four is rearing its ugly head again, and
Oh,
that'd be the
Brian.
injuries.
Uh,
And needless to say, with City, I get it. Erling Haaland had a 5 goal performance in international play this week. However, it's the fact that he's still not, other than I think he's had like what a couple goals this year so far. It's not translating into league play.
oh, I see. And not only that, it's early. They have only played 3 games so far this year. There's about 35 more games to go.
And it's kind of early for a Manchester derby to take place, like the fourth game of the season. I mean, it's pretty early. Usually those are like reserved for like October or maybe even early November or something like that. It's kind of surprising to have that. The other side of the coin is Manchester United right now is. I mean, we see it. The loss to Grimsby Town in the Leagues Cup, and still they've played 3 games. I think they've won one, drawn one so far. So they're 1-1-1 in all 3 games
Uh,
thus far. And Ruben Amorim is on the hot seat right now.
yeah, big time hot seat.
I mean, the way and Man City or not Man City, Man United has been bringing in quite a few players as of late. As far as the strength of their squad, I think they spent just a little bit less money than Liverpool has this year, but the transition, getting these players and having them perform on match day is 2 different scenarios. I mean, do you have too many egos in the room, or what's going on? We don't know what's going on with that, but the results have not been, shall we say, satisfactory.
Uh-huh.
So,
Uh-huh. And I
so
ask the question again, could this be the year that a major club like Manchester United finished bottom 3, aka relegation? No. You say no, I say yes. So
well, it all depends. It really all depends on the United players themselves and how bad do they want to stay up in the Premier League, stay up, to stay up in this league. It's how bad that Jim Radcliffe. How bad does he want to stay up in the Premier League at this time? From what it looks like right now, a 17th place finish last year wasn't enough.
no, that's
It's
rock bottom.
definitely not enough. That's borderline. That's borderline relegation right there.
I know, but they didn't get relegated.
So I mean,
And
you're
I
looking at
also did some interesting stats. You told me about the Manchester United coach on the hot seat. I found out a little bit intriguing. When he first started the Premier League, the legendary coach, Sir Alex Ferguson, was the legendary coach. He's in the Premier League Hall of Fame, and he retired. Guess how many managers, not counting interim managers or gatekeeper managers, what they call it in the UK, there have been in the last 13 years since Ferguson retired?
oh my gosh, it's hard to
Seven.
say. It's hard to
Seven.
say.
7.
7 managers.
Yes,
Wow.
including Jose Marino, who was a manager for a cup of coffee, which is a short time in geek speak, but oh my.
Gunner.
Yeah,
Gunner was there for a few years.
yeah. It looked like it's on average a year and a half to 2 years. And the reason why that short, it's not a little bit different like in sports when you keep winning the titles and like that. You have to win a lot of silverware. Not only your own home domestic league, but the FA Cup, the Euro Cup, or Europa League. You know what I mean?
When was the last time Man United was ever relevant in the Champions League?
13 years ago when Alex Ferguson was the manager.
What was it? What 299? What year was it? 99, 2000? I don't know whatever
I
year
would
they
say
won.
so,
Whatever
yeah.
year they won the treble with.
Yeah, I would say so. 99, 2000. I remember that one when they won the European Euro Cup, European Championship in injury time with 2 quickie corner goals. I remember that day really well.
And of course, one guy who owns who was a part of the ownership of the Pink Phony Club was involved in that as well.
Yeah.
Speaking of The
We'll get
Pink
to that
Pony
in just a
Club.
minute. We'll get to that in just a minute, but I'm
Ash-
going to give you the floor
Oh,
because
I had a great segue there.
okay.
I had a great.
I want to give you the floor with the last week's U.S. men's national team exhibition. One against South Korea, one against
Well, no,
Japan.
no, 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 no. When we're talking Pink Phony Club, I'm talking about the suspensions that were handed down by
Oh
Mr.
yeah,
Garber.
I'll get to that in just a minute. But let's get to the segue. Yeah, because quick turnaround because 2 weeks ago Miami lost the League Cup or OCO, the MLS Cup Summer Edition 3-0. And holy cow, it was a Donnybrook fight, pushing, shoving, and yes, a spinning.
I'm not going to show those images again.
Yeah, don't show it yet. You probably know the story. Luis Suarez, who had a history of fighting and saying some nasty stuff, we're not going to repeat here,
Fighting.
at the director of security for the Seattle Sounders. Now, last week, the MLS handed the League Cup handed their fine, and Luis Suarez got 6 games. But in the end of the statement, they said MLS had a right for additional punishment in their league. Well, guess what he got?
3 games.
3 freaking games.
Seattle's. I don't know if he was a coach or whatever it was. Somebody related to the Seattle Sounders got his. Let's just say his access denied for the rest of the season.
Oh,
His credentials were taken away from him. So
okay,
in other words, he got worse of a suspension than what Luis Suarez did.
Yeah, I was just asking, what did he do in the melee? The Seattle assistant coach who's now been suspended.
I have no idea what his involvement was as far as that goes, but I think he got a pretty high suspension from the Leagues Cup as far as that goes. Might have been physical altercation or whatever the hell that was.
Oh my!
Needless to say.
But I want to get back to Luis Suarez. Go ahead, you take the floor about Luis Suarez.
But the thing is about that is the Seattle Sounders. I want to say I think he's an assistant. I'm not sure. I don't have the stuff in front of me to verify. However, they get that instead of Suarez, who's had a history of biting people. He's had multiple suspensions for that. He gets 3 games for spitting on a security that is the softest punishment you could possibly have. I mean, yes, the League's Cup. I mean, grant you a 6-game suspension. However, is Luis Suarez coming back next year? That's the big question. Is he going to come back next year to Inter Miami? That remains to be seen. But you had to have taken care of this post haste right after it happened, especially since Miami's in a playoff run or a playoff push right now. You had to basically set the precedent and put the hammer down because he's had a history of this. He's had past history of this, and you needed to make an example of him. Don Garber and the disciplinary staff at MLS failed to do so.
I agree. And some are saying he got off light because, and this is what I heard from ESPN FC, they're trying to make every mountain or earth. Remember the conspiracy? Did the NBA let the Chicago Bulls run wild shot, winning all those championships? They want Miami. I don't know if they, because Inter Miami to win the League Cup. Honestly, are they getting frustrated?
It's not in the true spirit of competition. It really is not, and it's unfair to the other 20 or 29 or 30 teams or 29 teams in MLS right now to put preferential treatment on a single club just because you have. I'm not going to say arguably one of the best players in this generation. Just because you landed them and you want to give preferential, that's unfair to the other clubs that are participating in this league right now.
Yeah, I agree with you, considering that if it was any other team, let's say Philadelphia or
Columbus
Atlanta, they would have gotten a higher punishment. But honestly, this is Inter Miami, the most unlikely grammar boys, thugs, whatever.
I'll say it, and I'll say it to my grave. And and please don't shoot me for this. Inter Miami is the biggest bunch of thugs in the history of the game. Messi has
Yeah.
brought all his buddies together, like Busquets and Suarez and whomever, to the little boys club down in the little pink boys club down in Boca or
Fort Lauderdale.
in Fort Lauderdale or wherever the hell they play. And
Okay.
they have become the bad boys of soccer.
Yeah. Pretty much.
And basically, their MLS is letting them get away with doing whatever the hell they want. Even management in bringing these guys in order for them to get a name for themselves in the sports lexicon in this country.
I know. I got one question, and you brought up the subject. How do you think they're playing in Miami? And the reason why I asked, because remember, when we had the bad boys here in Detroit, we were celebrating Detroit. They won it on championship, on God's determination, all that. But outside Detroit, oh my God, the Lampier is hurting our third.
There is an extreme. I wouldn't say the hate is similar, but there is quite a bit of hate out there for Inter Miami in the realms of say how you got teams like Minnesota United mocking them, and then David Beckham coming back. Oh, show some class. Your club isn't showing class right now, Bex.
Mm-hmm.
It never shows class. You got a couple of the dirtiest players in the game right now on your squad.
Oh my!
Quit! Don't tell me about class.
Oh my! Oh my!
But clubs like that. Fans in Seattle can't stand them. Fans in Vancouver can't stand them. Fans in everywhere around the country. There is a lot of people, and I hate to bring the fans into it. They're calling them plastics as well because they follow one guy and one guy only, and that'd be Lionel Messi.
Lionel Messi. I have to say that for the record.
Yeah, it's appalling. It's like I mean, grant you, yes, I grew up. I was introduced to the game thanks to the New York Cosmos and Pele. And
Pele, the class above among the rest forever, literally.
Absolutely. I was introduced on that. Yeah, call it plastic if you want. However, Pele brought more to the game itself than I'm sorry, he brought more to the game itself than what Messi has.
I know.
And grant you, okay, we were talking about Ray Hudson and the great accomplishments that he had last week at the end of Soccer Night in Detroit.
Yeah.
Ray Hudson got his notoriety thanks to this Messi Ronaldo rivalry in La Liga.
Yeah. And
with his work on beIN Sports and later on, I think on ESPN and whatnot. I mean, that's what propelled Ray Hudson to being one of the top analysts of all time.
I agree. Because of the rivalry of two people, Cristiano Ronaldo and Messi, and all that.
And he was, in Granche, he was blessed by great analyst all time. But that was like the pinnacle of his career right there. Was, covering those two in the epic clashes in La Liga.
Yeah. Okay.
So, but the thing is here, I mean, Miami and like I said, it's blasphemy to give the guy 3 games, especially with the history that he's had as far as incidents like this throughout his career. And and for MLS to give a slap on the wrist like that is just thoroughly embarrassing for the league itself.
It is, I know, yeah. That's on his permanent record forever. Again.
So
I know.
Oh, we got other things we like to talk about. Yes, I'm going back to the Messenger, our conversation on Messenger here. Let's see.
You want to talk about the U.S. World Cup game? Because we were at Keywords last week for a soccer game. You were following the U.S. against South Korea. They lost 2-0. Then in midweek, they beat Japan 2-0. And oh my, you were hot. Hey, this is your truly angry mom night. You saw the game. I was following the game here and there, but let's talk about
Well,
that son of a game against South Korea and how the newest superstar in LA gave them a master class.
pretty much so. I mean, I'm looking at the FOT mob from the Saturday match. Han Yang-woo or Han Woo Zhou was named player of the match, but you cannot underestimate like I said, the play of Yunmin Sun. Sun was he had a 8.3 as far as the FOTMA. Clearly could have been player of the match. He scored on one goal, assisted on another goal. And my argument was, okay, Pochettino was the coach of Tottenham Hotspur when Son was a player there. I don't think he was involved too much in their Champions League run of 2019, so to say, but he was part of that squad. He knew how dangerous this man can be, especially if he's left out wide in the open.
Uh-huh.
And it bit him in the ass twice on Saturday. He had no reasoning whatsoever, or no reason or rhyme whatsoever of how to defend him or how they were able to not, isolate him or whatever it is to, keep him less effective. Unfortunately, he showed his effectiveness, and the U.S. paid for it on Saturday with the 2-0 loss. And it turned out to be another one of those losses for Pochettino's side against a top 15 club or top 15 national team that has hampered him as of late. I mean, he had losses to Mexico and Canada, and just in this region, and Panama for that matter. And grant you this window or this international break is. I wouldn't say a huge international break for them because of the fact that a lot of these players that were on this international break probably won't be on the squad the next time an international break comes around, because now he's got to form a club that he's going to take into the World Cup next year from here.
And from the look of it, I don't think the U.S. have a strong club like in years past. I'm sorry to say.
I mean, there's some good players out there. Timothy Weah is one of the better players out there. Everybody's been talking about Diego Luna, and USL Championship graduate himself, and the play that he's made on there. But I mean, really and truthfully, it all falls down to certain players that we've been come to familiarize ourselves with. Obviously, the Christian Pulisics of the world, the Cameron Carter-Vickers as well. Austin Trusty, another Celtic guy that's participating in some U.S. caps as well. Some of those players, you're going to start seeing the formation of this squad. And then from what it looked like on I believe it was Tuesday night that the U.S. took on Japan, who had some great players themselves. Daisen Maeda, another prime example. I'm surprised Kyogo Furuhashi was not part of the lineup for them on Tuesday night as well. But they get goals by Florian Balogun and Alex Zendejas in that match on Tuesday night, and they look quite in sync and in good good form out there. 59% possession to 45% possession. 19-11 as far as the shots go. They look like more of a complete team than what we see, say, for example, say like we saw on Saturday against South Korea, and say like we saw before in the Nations League against Mexico.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm. So this, I mean, Pochettino's trying to I still think he's still in the feeling out processes. Now we're going to go into October in the next international break. Is okay, you got to start forming the squad that's going to be competing in June next year And then you're going to start playing some opponents. I heard they're going to have a international coming up with Portugal.
Oh my, one of the top teams.
Yep, and of course you know who's going to be there. It's going to be Cristiano. It's going to be Ronaldo. Ronaldo's trying to get his
He's
country
going
a
to
World
play
Cup.
in another World Cup because I thought the one in Saudi Arabia last year was it. You know what I mean? But no.
And Portugal coming into the U.S. It's going to be an interesting time. And of course now you got to start building on that squad. That is going to be the squad that is going to be on the pitch for those 2 months in 2026.
Yes, that will be something, and already the World Cup dance card being filled up with 18 countries that qualify so far. Plus including those 18 is the 3 automatic because they're hosting Canada, Mexico, and the USA.
Exactly, and and then you got teams like Mexico starting to get a little bit better on form as far as the 3 teams hosting the cup. Canada, we know what they're about, especially with Jesse Marsh under the helm. And it's kind of weird, you couldn't get Jesse Marsh, so you go after Pochettino. Here's an interesting tidbit, folks.
Okay, what's the tidbit?
No country has won a World Cup with a foreign-born coach.
Oh.
So I'm not expecting any miracle. I am not expecting a miracle on the pitch come late July 2026. I'm not expecting that.
If they are still playing like crap, you will not see any miracle. They will go out one.
I think a miracle on the pitch for them would be reaching the knockout round.
I know,
like they did last time around.
And it's going to be a little different World Cup since you're going to have 48 teams. 48.
Largest World Cup ever.
Oh my, and how they're going to do, are they going to do a knockout round of 32 or something, or,
I don't know how that's going to work out. We'll look at it as we get closer to the competition, how the format is going to be.
All right. Now, will take the floor on one subject because it was on Tuesday night I was watching XT to see if Joe Henry repaired, the running joke of the season on the show. Mm-hmm. I was minding my own business, waiting. He didn't show up, but Darren Smith didn't start the game on Wednesday night against El Paso in the 4-0 drubbing. I was minding my own business, and you posted a video, and I'm just saying, holy, you know what? He's back. Tell me who.
Let's hear what Mr. Juncaj has to say.
Are you going to play the video?
I am going to play the video.
Okay, I saw the video, and
Then we'll return and hash this out.
Okay.
Hi, this is George Juncaj, owner of a Michigan Star Sports Center. This over weekend, we have a huge soccer tournament from all Michigan and outside Michigan. I just want to take a moment and tell everybody thank you for coming. As the clubs, coaches, parents, kids, boys, girls, and everybody. It was a pleasure to see thousands of young boys and girls competing over there for 2 days. And as mostly people knows, Michigan Star Sports Center has different tournaments. So we do soccer, we do flag football, we do lacrosse, we do volleyball, and many different sports. And that's why, in my position, I'm working very hard to bring a professional soccer club and a team, and hopefully U.S. Soccer and MLS will continue following us and the work which we do, and one day soon we will be able to announce we will be a member of an MLS league. What that mean is for us, we like and we will love giving all these young kids opportunity where not just they can play to the high school and colleges, but after that they can participate also in a professional sports. I worked very hard to create Michigan Stars, and just for that reason, I also went overseas and purchased a first division club which it is in Europe. Okay, that means lots of these young boys, they will have an opportunity to play in Michigan Stars and also have a chance to show themselves in a European league. Again, thank you everybody. Thank you for coming, and I hope I see you soon. Thank you.
What is George thinking?
What the? You know what? It just honestly, I've been following this team, DCFC, for almost 15 years. You know what I mean? Like I said, never got the chance to cover the Rockers. And part of it was the Michigan Stars. They were with us in NPSL, then NISA, then the U.S. Open Cup Bible, smoke, belt, and darkness. That came from a Open Cup game. And George, I thought he told the Stars after the last regular NISA season, which was last year. And I thought, and then he comes back. He sort of like the evil cat that came back the very next day. Like, what the hell? It's just
First of all, judging by that recent video, I don't see any work being done on this new stadium. First of all.
Honestly.
Second of all, he's had NISA, he's had USL reject him. Remember the whole thing about the Charlotte Independence?
Yes,
before they went to League One?
I remember that story real well. He went on a podcast, said that he bought the Charlotte Independent, and his plan was to play in Charlotte for 1 year and move them to Detroit. And honestly, we never heard back from the Charlotte Independent because I knew that story was total BS.
Yeah, I think the Charlotte Independents ended up rejecting him and decided to go to League One, thus making leeway for what was to happen with Detroit City FC, going forward, in which they ended up going into USL Championship in the beginning of 2022.
Yeah, and honestly, why he keeps saying, "Oh, MLS is coming"? Incidentally, I hate to break it to him, but we have an already.
The best is like, all right, I'm gonna go Pawn Stars here. Pawn Stars here.
All right.
Oh, you want MLS? Sorry, the best I can give you is MLS Next Pro. Best I can do for you is that.
Unbelievable, and considering that
like I said, the first ramifications here, all he has is that crooked pitch in Washington Township.
Yeah, I know.
The slanted pitch over there. That's all he has for a foundation for that so-called stadium of his.
And you don't have no stands. You don't have no stands. Oh my God.
Second of all, the last couple years he played in NISA, they played out of Romeo High School.
Yeah. And if you remember in our last NISA match that was held around, a lot of some employees connected to Juncaj assaulted our supporters. One of them was even caught on.
George allegedly assaulted one of the supporters. Next thing you know, his wife's knocking cameras out of one of my friend's hands.
I remember that really well.
And the thing is just that I know we've been saying the guy's bad for soccer. He's right up there with like the Larry Gerards in the world and the Rocco Comissimos. People we think are bad for the sport. Grant you, I'm glad the Cosmos are back. Not under Comissimo's control. However, I'm glad they're back. Yes.
Also, here's
Larry Gerard, I don't know where he's been.
Oh, brother.
That's another guy that's, I did miss, I remember the pizza party.
And here's another question I want to ask. Why did the United States Soccer Federation, which supposed to sanction these leagues, why do they have to put up with them? They just said, sorry, we given 3 wishes, you waited all, and nobody showed up. Like, honestly. Oh.
Money, 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 money. Guys got money.
But you still can't get
money rules the roost in U.S. soccer, as you know.
we are already well established. We're building a new stadium near downtown between Corktown and Mecklentown, and this guy have a soccer complex or whatever. I don't know. Just
He bought Total Sports Macomb or whatever the hell it was.
yeah,
Turn it into a facility where he could develop his soccer club and host Trump rallies.
yeah. He hosted probably twice.
I think the first one was under the Total Sports lexicon, though. Second one was definitely under his.
Yeah.
We have pictures to show it, and we will not
Oh
show
yeah.
them in
Yeah.
in different in yeah we will not show those pictures.
Yeah.
But the guy's got money, and
Yeah.
you know what USSF caters to? People with the green.
Yeah, brother.
That's why MLS has put the platform up with the PLS standards. That's why a lot of things that need to be changed that's why pay to play exists.
I
A lot of
know.
things need to be changed in the USSF board, shall we say, in the USSF standards to make this a better country for soccer.
I know. And right now, if you've been watching any of the unleashed video from Eric Ronaldo, who played the game for our country, and he's a good one. He'll tell you it on video, literally.
Yeah, absolutely. I should take a deep dive into that stuff and keep watch some of those things and be a subscriber to him, because the guy Eric Ronaldo, love him or hate him, I think he's very good as far as and very knowledgeable as far as the game goes, especially in this country. He's very vocal and critical. I mean, I've heard him being vocal and critical about his Premier League club, Manchester United.
I know.
And like I said, he's one of those voices I would lean to as far as what's going on in this country as far as soccer goes.
Understandable.
Yep. So
Yeah.
mean,
He got great takes, I must say. You know what I mean?
absolutely. I mean, something.
Okay, well,
definitely a shout out to him. Great radio show that they do on Sirius XM, by the way. When all the talk soccer.
we're getting to the end of our Saturday musings, a rare one for us. But did we mention that there are some good soccer tonight in the USL?
Oh my God, we forgot to mention that. Oh God, it's gonna be a wild night in the USL. Yeah,
I know.
I totally forgot about that. I did mention it.
It started last night in North Carolina and Cary with that big game between North Carolina against El Paso. And the big key was El Paso. One of their players got a red card in the 13th minute for tripping inside the box. No penalty was given. And the main goal, a beautiful goal scored by North Carolina that scored the only goal, 1-0. So that means North Carolina is 4 points ahead of Pittsburgh and Detroit, who lost 4-0.
And Hartford, by the way, as well.
Yeah.
Yep. That goal came by Conway in the 8th minute of stoppage time in the first half.
That was a good goal. It deflected off the goalie, went top left, 1-0, and that's all she wrote. So,
North Carolina right now, as I'm looking at the standings, we were not putting up the graphic, but as I'm looking at the standings, 4 points up on Detroit City and Hartford Athletic going into this one. Now, looking at tonight's action in the league, so there's some key matchups here. Pittsburgh's taking on, Pittsburgh's taking on
Lou City.
Yeah, they're taking on Lou City tonight. So
good luck there, Pittsburgh.
Yeah, game that can be seen on the CBS Galazzo channel later on this evening.
Hartford,
yeah, they're hosting them actually at Highmark tonight.
Yeah, Hartford, who is in the mix, is facing on the road in the West Coast, facing on Monterey Bay.
That's gonna be a very, that game on ESPN Plus. Monterey Bay right now, their form as of late not so good.
Ugh.
Lost 3 of 5.
Oh my.
They're sitting in 11th right now in the West, and we know about that pillow fight right now.
I know. They're way outside the pillow fight. And the 11th is also in the playoff race. Is taking on Rhode Island at Pawtucket at
Yeah.
Centerville
Well,
Bank
let me
Stadium.
go back to that Hartford Athletic Monterey
Okay.
Bay. No one's been hotter in the USL right now than Hartford Athletic.
You're right. They just qualified for the JE Cup final, which they did the draw on Thursday.
Winners of 4 of their last 5.
Yes, it's going to be held in Sacramento for the Iggy Cup final in October. But yeah.
Yeah, no one's been hotter. No one's been hotter. And I mean, it's a game to watch tonight, obviously for standing purposes in the East. Let's say you were mentioning Indy and Rhode Island. It's a battle for the 8th spot in the Eastern Conference there, and despite them, they beat Charleston Battery at home.
Yeah.
They also have beaten Birmingham Legion at home. They lost to Lewis City. They beat us at home.
Yeah.
So their home form as of late, they played 5 of 6 at home. So that right now their home standing, other than the El Clamico loss to, but that took place in Hartford. So going back here, I'm looking at their last 5. Let's see here. Okay. In league play itself, okay, you got their last loss at home was against Lewis City. Who hasn't lost to Lewis City this year other than North Carolina FC?
They beat Charleston.
They beat Charleston Battery. Yeah, they beat Charleston Battery. They beat Birmingham Legion. They drew with Loudoun United, and they beat Detroit City FC. These are the last few championship games at home at Centerville Bank Stadium. If Indy might have a tough time going out there, they're losers of 2 of their last 5.
I know.
So 2-2 or 2-1-2 in their last 5. Losses to Charleston, Lewis City, in that mix as well. And this is another top 4. It's not a top 4 team that they faced. 2 of those losses came against top 4 squads. So that's going to be an interesting. Match tonight, as far as the that 7th, 8, or 8-9 battle is concerned. There, so 3 good matches to watch tonight. Catch all the action. Obviously, CBS Sports Golazo, ESPN Plus has all the action for you tonight.
Yeah. By the way, the back end of that Golazo match is New Mexico United, who beat us 4-0. They're doing Meow Wolf Night.
9:00 tonight against FC Tulsa. Top 3 matchup at this point. Top 3 matchup at this point.
I know. And by the way, Morgan Kick Around, who we watch every Monday, Wednesday, and
Shout
Friday.
out Jason Davis and Robert Kerr.
They're doing a special Saturday night college game day style edition of the show at the stadium for Meow Wolf Night, which, by the way, if you don't know, that's their official sponsor, which is sort of like an interactive entertainment. I went to the one in Santa Fe, which is in New Mexico. They also host concerts as well. Well,
we'll get there one day. We'll get a college game day. We'll get a college game day type or a Detroit City FC. I think we'll wait a couple years for that though. When we get in a new place, or maybe next year in the last game of Keyworth. I don't know.
Probably.
And if I figure out this live thing and tell our subscribers and to share, like I always say, like, share, subscribe, whatever all that fun stuff is. Try to get enough subscribers. Maybe we could do a live ourselves from Keyworth, or towards the last days of Keyworth, or the early days of Alumni 5 Field.
I know.
And do like a college game day type atmosphere. That'd be cool.
That will be very cool. Yeah, considering that the only college game day I saw was the last show with Lee Corso with the
Yeah, we're
headgear
not gonna.
pick.
Yeah, we're not gonna request the head of friendly for our
No,
predictions.
no. But they have replaced the headgear pick with, I know we have strong opinions on Pat McAfee, who's one of the analysts. He's now doing wrestling style promos about the main game of the last pick of the big game of the week.
Why did you purchase WWE ESPN? Why?
Oh,
Why?
TKO, because their pricing is now acting like UFC matches. Don't even ask. Don't
And
even.
WrestleMania is going to Saudi Arabia.
Yeah. And the reaction was strong with the word "you sold out" on the live chat. Oh my!
Yeah.
But I'm going to enjoy some.
It's
I'm going,
not a good way to end this thing, but hey,
I'm going,
whatever. We
yeah,
got.
I'm going to go enjoy some soccer right now. I have on the Cornell Western Michigan game because a friend of the show, Hannah Crum, which we are now putting in the opening. Remember the last soccer game when the Black Arrow for the Female Player of the Year was awarded? She brought up Drew Martin. That was really nice. And, I like Hannah Crum. And if she's back on the team, she's welcome anytime.
Absolutely, definitely a friend of the program as well. I mean, great person, great person to talk to. Very entertaining person to talk to. By the way, we're looking at the. Are
I
you looking
agree.
at that West Ham score right now?
Yes. Oh, yeah. Tottenham is blowing out West Ham 3-0.
Mm.
3-1.
Brother.
Oh, brother. Sometimes you win 3-0, I'd say, okay.
You heard they
All right.
banned you heard they banned the half and half scars for that game, didn't you?
No, what's wrong with the half and half start? We are familiar with them during the.
Tottenham, West Ham.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
a double ham scarf. Seems a
All
little
right.
redundant.
I know. So we'll meet up on Wednesday for our regular days of
Yes,
musing.
we'll be back to normal schedule this week for the
And
musings.
by the way, next Saturday, our first time ever against Lexington FC. They are in deep in the Western Conference pillow fight, if you want to call it.
Right now, a very important match for Detroit City FC after that 4-0 drubbing at the hands of New Mexico United on Wednesday night in the desert. So we shall see what happens there.
Well,
So
Matt Cat, great talking soccer to you. I hope you have the good rest of your weekend. I'll see you back on Wednesday.
all right, you as well. And for my buddy Steve, this is Bad Cat saying, keep your feet in the ground, keep reaching for the galaxy, and let's be good to each other, people.
Let's be nice. Thank you.